Okay, before I get an update on this, I'm going to go out of the Pokemon Center because Pokemon Center's theme gets grinding. Spring and now it's summer apparently. Alright. Season switched it randomly. Anyway, people give me, you're gonna have to tell me whether, the microphone is loud enough over the game audio. You have to put that in the chat. I heard last time from our last stream that the microphone was a little weird. This is partially because I switched between my computers. Obviously, we're on my laptop right now. As opposed to earlier yesterday, I was on our regular streaming laptop, which crashed before we started last night, so that was fun. But, yeah, so we're back in the Black Nuzlocke. Why are we back in the Black Nuzlocke? So, to give a recap of what happened last time we were here, I had faced Elisa. I expected it was going to be rough. It was. I got through the whole gym, but then I got to her, and then just those Volt switching Emolga and that Zebstrika, they're just, I had no electric immunities or even resistances. My team was going to take some damage, and I knew that was going to happen. So I did lose 2 of my Pokemon in the process. I also just got hit by a lot of critical hits. I was very unlucky with Emolga's static ability, which I don't know why. It seems every time, like, if I have the static ability when I'm using a Pokemon, it never activates. But if I'm ever facing an opponent with a static ability, it always activates, and that always frustrates me just so much. Anyway, but... So, by a miracle, essentially, I got through with these 2 Pokemon you see on the screen right now, Hamilton and Emmett. Emmett actually never got into, combat. He's on the EXP share right now. Hamilton somehow, despite getting paralyzed 3 times over the course of that battle, taking like 4 critical hits, he managed to tough it out by 1 HP, managed to knock out Elisa's last Pokemon, which was a Zebstrika, with a 3rd turn rollout, and one-shot it, despite being paralyzed. It was like so miraculous. I was just like, whoa, I'm gonna have to get Pignite plush after this. I hate Pignite. But I was so impressed by my starter toughing it out there, bro, that I was just like, wow. That's impressive. And so, you're riding the high, and I'm like, okay, but now my team is very shallow, so I need to get to the next patch of grass to catch another Pokemon. And the idea was then after that I would go train a little bit more, get my current Pokemon I have a little bit more levels. I want to try and get Emmett to level 30. Maybe get Hamilton a little higher, see if I can get him to... I don't know when Pignite evolves, but evolves at some point. And so, like, I go through the gate, and I get jumped by Cheren, one of my rivals, which I was not expecting. I literally was like 5 minutes after the gym. And I got wiped by Cheren because I have 2 Pokemon, both weak to water. He has the water-type starter. And I just didn't get lucky, So I was like... The question then became... I was obviously very frustrated at the moment because, like... Ideally, I would be like, okay, it's a Nuzlocke run. I'm ready to lose when I lose. But I was also like... I want it to be a fair loss, I guess, is what my mentality... Like, if I had lost to Elisa, I would have accepted that. It would have stung, but I would have accepted that because I'm like, okay, I prepared for this battle... I was ready going into this battle, and I just wasn't strong enough to beat her. Then I would have been fine. But getting wiped by Cheren, I didn't want to accept that because, it wasn't a fight I was expecting to be hit by. And, like, I could definitely have beaten him if I knew I was going to fight him, and therefore I had prepared properly for it. Either putting, like, Grass Knot on my, like... Pignite or something like there are ways to get around bad type advantages. This is how monolocks work when you are using a singular type of Pokemon. Pokemon have certain weaknesses, so if you're doing like a all fire types run, you're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with water types and rock types and ground types, all the things that fire is weak to. You're gonna have to figure out how to deal with that, and that's part of the fun of the run. But like dying to Cheren like that because I got jumped and I wasn't ready for it felt like such an anticlimactic end to the run, and I got honestly really legitimately frustrated and angry about it. And I pretty much just ended the stream after that. It was a short stream, but I pretty much just ended it right there because I was so angry about it. I was like, I couldn't even really think straight. I was just frustrated and angry. It also had been a long day. But, you know, I was, like, just angry about it. So I talked to my sister about it, because she's my main viewer on this particular run. Which, you know, that's fine. I'm really doing this for me. It's okay that I don't have a ton of viewers for the Nuzlocke. It's more for my own enjoyment anyway. But I talked to my sister, and I was trying to figure out, like, okay, by technical rules, a Nuzlocke should end once I wipe out Pokemon, right? I've technically should end it there. But it feels anticlimactic to die after having that big peak against Elisa. And, you know, I could start a new run, but then I have to go through all this again. And that would just take forever. So I was like, what do I want to do? I didn't want to end the run just yet. I wanted to feel like I pushed on a little further. Like, if I lose to a gym leader or something, fine. But it'd be like if I lost to a random, like, lass on the side of the road. Like, that doesn't feel... That's anticlimactic. That's not... Like, this is also kind of an entertainment thing as well. So I just didn't want to, you know, end it there. So I came up with it, because my sister's like, oh, go start the game over, or get new Pokemon, or just say that your Pokemon didn't die. I'm like... I was thinking about, like, how could I do this where it would still be kind of legit? So my thing I came up with... So originally I was thinking, like, well, one thing I could do... There is an in-game trade in this game. Which is, you can trade Cottony for Petlil. I did have a Cottony, she did die. I could technically trade that. Or the other thing I considered was, like, I could also redo my encounter on the Desert Resort. My Desert Resort encounter was Maractus. I forgot about that. Until I pretty much killed it by accident. And so therefore I was just going to be like, well, I just won't use it for the run. But I was willing to think, like, what if I went back, caught a Maractus, and put it in my team, and went forward, you know, redo the fight with Cheren, redo, like, and then just keep progressing on. I don't think that would be too broken. I've never used Maractus before, but I don't believe it's a very powerful Pokemon, so I don't think that'd be, like, busted or anything like that. It is an encounter I technically did have, so it wouldn't be like I go into the Desert Resort and catch another Sandile, or whatever. I'm like, I would go in with the intention of I have to find a female Maractus, because that was what my first encounter was. Ideally at level 20, but whatever one I run into first. And go do that. And then I'll take that Pokemon, I'll do some, may do a little leveling, just essentially so I can get past Cheren in the checkpoint, so I can go and catch more Pokemon in the next route. That was the whole reason I went there, was to catch more Pokemon. I didn't realize I was going to get jumped right outside the city, considering I just got jumped by Bianca in the city. I'm like, wow, I forgot how many rival fights there are in this game, especially when you're bouncing technically between 3 different rivals. So, you know, if I faced Bianca, it would have been fine, but it's like, I don't mind having a few Pokemon to fight against with. It's more just the fact that, like, that was, you know, it just didn't feel like a fair battle. Anyway. So my decision I've come to is that I'm going to go into the desert. And the main reason, like, I'm doing this instead of, like, going back to do that, again, that Cottony versus Petlil, trade, is because I have to backtrack right to the, like, the first area, like, the first town. After the first town after the town where you get your starter. Like, it'd be a pretty far walk to go back, and I didn't really want to do that, so I'm just gonna go. And I think that's fair, because I don't even know if Maractus is any good or not. I've never used a Maractus. I've drawn them before. I've had characters based on Maractus, but I don't know even if it's that powerful Pokemon. The whole point of a Nuzlocke run also is to use Pokemon I've never used before. So that was kind of part of the, that's the other reason I'm going to go with Maractus, because I have used Petlil before, I've used Lilligant, I've not used Whimsicott, I've used Cottony twice, and it always dies on me because I use it in Nuzlocke runs. I'm like, I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go find me a Maractus, catch it, and then do a little training. And I'm going to go face Cheren again, and I'm going to try and at least get to the next town. And we're going to go from there. Because just that, the loss against Cheren felt so anticlimactic that it almost felt like, you know, sometimes you're gonna be like, well, like kind of like one of those animes that's like, well, but that's the way life is, and sometimes it's unfair and it has an unsatisfying ending. I'm like, but when we're looking for entertainment, we're not looking for an unsatisfying ending. We're looking for fulfillment. So I'm like, this is my run. I'm doing this to have fun. Ultimately, I'm doing this for me. I'm not like I'm doing this for like 1,000 viewers or something like that, or like a very intense fan base or speedrunning community that's gonna keep me honest. Like, no, I'm doing this for me. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna essentially loophole here. It's not like I'm gonna suddenly like give myself a big advantage or something. I'm just gonna loophole here a little bit so I can press forward with the run. Because the whole point of this was that I have done this game before. If I died at the same point where I lost in my first run, like when I played White, which was at Skyla, I believe it was in Pokemon Tower, was where I stopped playing last time, and like, then I'd be willing to end the game there. But the whole point of doing this run was to get further than I got the last time. I didn't even know you could still run to Darumaka in this area. Be honest. Well, I'm not interested in fighting you. Let me double check something on encounters, by the way. Just to make sure that I need to make sure my numbers are right. Huh. Interesting. I also was subbing in preschool today, and I got cut on my finger, because it seems like whenever it's... When you ever get winter and it's dry, you get, like, cuts everywhere and all over the place. I think I actually got this one... I don't even know where I got this one from, but now my thumb hurts. I got this random cut on my finger. So, here's the other fun part. How long will it take me to find a Maractus? I ran into them quite a bit when I played this game before. I was training in this area before, but now I'm trouble finding one. Which I guess is fine. Experience is experience, but... Oh. I didn't mean to hit roll out, but whatever. I also probably will not be chatting a whole lot until, you know, unless anyone in the chat, like, talks to me. I'd probably be more focusing on playing the game. Someone, by all means, if you're sitting here in chat, or if you're lurking or something, give me a topic, give me a thing to speak about, and I'll talk about it. And probably for right now, I'll probably just be, like, quiet unless someone speaks to me. I have nothing against Darumaka. I actually think it's you know, I originally didn't like it as much, but it is a kind of cute Pokemon. It's a pity mine never got to do anything. He died before he even got a chance to attack. Now the question is, before, Maractus has like a 20% chance of showing up, I think. And right now, we're just gonna see how long can I go without finding one. I was assuming this was gonna be the faster option, but this could take a while. I'm gonna go heal and head to the areas in the back. Nope. Sandile is definitely one of those Pokemon that, I mean, this applies to a lot of Pokemon in Unova, but Sandile is definitely one of those Pokemon especially that I think is way cuter in the sprite format than it is in the 3D model. The 3D model, you realize how plain the design is, but when it's in the 3D format, and you get like kind of the vibe of like its little sunglasses eyes and it opening its mouth and stuff like that, it looks a lot cuter. I generally think sprite work is always like the harder thing to do than 3D graphics. I mean, there are, you know, places that do really good 3D graphics, but I'm like, I think with when you do 3D, you have to kind of stylize it, because otherwise it's going to look outdated pretty soon. But I just remember I used the Sandile in my dark type monolock I did for Pokemon Shield. Oh, I haven't faced this guy yet. How about that? Alright, the things you learn running around in the desert. I thought I faced all the trainers in this area. But I guess I did not. Alright, well I guess we're gonna do a battle real fast. It is funny that Darumaka doesn't have like an ability or something that protects it from Sandstorm. Considering that it's a fire type and everything, but it lives, like, the only place you can catch Darumaka is in the desert. It's kind of weird it doesn't have something like Sandville that, protects it from the Sandstorm, considering this is, like, its own environment. Being grass type will also help with the fact that I have really not a whole lot to, oh, thanks, dude. I really do not have a whole lot to resist, electric types right now. Okay. Maractus? Nope. More Darumaka. Nice. I do like that they look like the little, like, you know, Russian dolls, like the nesting dolls. I don't know what Darumaka is supposed to be based on, but that's what it makes me think of whenever I look at it. Oh, I guess I've not fought this lady yet either. Cool. That's fine, I'm just looking for a cactus. I've never raised a ducklet either. If I find a ducklet somewhere along the way, I'd be very willing to catch that. Also because it would be nice to have a water type on my team, but, you know. Not that I need any more electric type weaknesses on this very electric flying type weak team, but... it'd be interesting. I've never used Swanna before either. I mean, granted it is just another water, like, flying type, which is not great because the whole, oh, thanks. It's not ideal considering the 4 times, like, electric weaknesses, but... is there anything interesting back here? I feel like there's, yeah, there's gotta be an item back here. Oh, there's a rock. See, I knew the Rock Tomb TM was around here somewhere. I could have used that against Elisa, but I did not, so... ah well. That would have been a nice move to have on a Sandile. Literally, one of the things is, oh, get a Sandile, get the Rock Tomb TM, then you can beat Elisa pretty easily. There you are. Shift Emmett with the hope that I can weaken, like, Emmett's weaker and won't hurt it as much. Yeah, Bug is going to be, like, the least effective against a rock flying type. Guess let's try Ancient Power. Trying to find something I can hit it with that isn't too strong. That's not bad. Yeah, that should be about neutral. Because it is also a flying type. Okay, let's try and throw a ball at it. Let's try and throw an Ultra Ball at it. You just want to catch this thing quickly. Right. Got Maractus. Don't know what we're gonna call it. Does have an interesting call though. I will give it that. It has a very distinct call. I love Pokemon that have distinct calls. Like one of my favorite calls of like all time has to be Honchkrow. Honchkrow I will always raise just because its call is the coolest thing ever. Okay, so we got Dancing Maraca, Cactus thingy. Female, kind of our last hope here. What would be a good name for you? Desert flower sort of vibes. I remember I did have this. I have this one Maractus character in one of my PMD groups named Bunny because I literally made a Maractus that looked like a bunny. I'm not gonna name her that here, but actually, you know what? I think I will. I'll name her Bunny after my After my character in my PMD group, and it is spelled like that. I have a PMD group. She's like a bartender. It's a albino Maractus, and she's a bartender. Her name's Bunny. The reason for that being the fact that it's supposed to be based off the idea of a white rabbit. Like, you know, you follow a white rabbit into danger and stuff like that. So the idea was, like, she was a Maractus that, you know, I had her have, like, the little head things they have where, like, laying back so she looked kind of lop-eared. And that was the whole point, is that, like, you know, she was supposed to be like a white rabbit, so her name was Bunny. And she ran a bar called the White Rabbit. Because sometimes it's fun just to do the kind of desert trope. Desert western, old west, you know, last stand of civilization. Which, you know, I was talking to someone about, like, Notland in Genshin Impact, and I'm like, they definitely should have gone for that instead. I don't know, someone told me it's supposed to be based off of Africa, but I'm like, I did not get that at all from neither the characters nor from the location. Let's see what she's like. Modest nature. Okay, that's not bad. I would have liked to have one with Storm Drain, but modest nature is actually pretty good. That's good for a special attacker, which I'm gonna assume she's gonna lean more into that direction. So she has actually a really nice special attack stat. Chlorophyll isn't great. I would have performed Storm Drain, which is the, is it Storm Drain or Water Absorb? The point is that there's an ability Maractus has that's either Storm Drain or Water Absorb that allows it so when it's hit by water-type moves, it will take no damage. It'll either, like, raise its special attack stat, or it will heal its HP, so having that ability would have been nice, but honestly, it's not bad nature. It's better than literally any of the other natures on my team right now, so we're gonna go and try and get her some levels. And we're gonna go around and fight some Sandiles. Try and get her some levels. Oh, my thing. Give me a second. First, let me save. I just realized my Pokelink thing isn't updating. Okay, give me a second. I might have to restart it, because it should be showing her in the new Pokemon slot. Okay. Okay, the gameplay's gonna leave for a second here, so just give me a moment to... I gotta just restart the emulator. There we go. Okay, now it's updating correctly. Anyway, so, like, I was talking to someone, I've not done Notland in the, like, region in Genshin Impact, because I honestly, I've not gone outside the first region, because I just haven't. I'm getting there. I'm going to go and get out of the first region after I've gotten a little further in my free-to-play run. Because essentially it's like exposure therapy, it's getting me more used to liking the game again. But, I've been hearing things about Notland, about its area, its characters. Of course, the first thing I'm going to run into is a fire type. Oh, that reminds me of something I need to do, though. I do need to put the smoke ball on you so we can run away from battles. So we're going to actually switch out Hamilton here first. But, Notland, I heard from them, is supposed to be based off of Africa, apparently. Every one of the regions is, like, is distinctly based off a certain, like, area in the real world. They have, like, very strong cultural similarities. But I'm like, I would have done Notland. I would have based it off the Old West, you know? Great Plains area, like, it's a very strong archetype that I'm like, Should have done it off of the Midwest or Old West, and because then you could have still had a sun-themed region. You could have still had some level of technology, because we did see in the previous area in Fontaine, they do have the technology for guns and water systems, like, you know, waterworks. So it would still fit with the technology levels of the region if you had like people who were using guns, like gunslingers, and not to mention gunslingers and, like, you know, steeds. They could still have the dinosaur thing. I know that they call them dragons, but they're not. They look like dinosaurs, so we're gonna call them dinosaurs. Because Genshin Impact cannot decide what the heck is a dragon in this world, considering they have like 5 different, like. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, you put like 6 pictures next to each other and be like, all but one of these is a dragon. You know, like. You ever seen that sort of a meme? But, Genshin Impact does not seem to know what quite to qualify as a dragon in its game, because it has like 6 different answers. They all look very different. The only one that we have, like, you know, 100% certain that that is a dragon, like, we can't even define them up, because, like, the first region has a dragon, but then the second region also has a dragon, and it technically has 2 if you want to count it that way. And, like, you know, Fontaine had a dragon that wasn't a dragon, which, you know, is fine. I'm not a huge fan of the dragon but looks human trope. I'm willing to let it pass if at least they have, like, all other draconic traits, but I like it much better when a dragon looks like a dragon. Regardless of which kind you can do sea serpent, you can do wyvern, you can do European dragon, you can do Asian dragon. Like, just, you know, give me a large lizard with like, you know, some sort of special elemental power and, you know, immense wisdom. It has to be intelligent. That's the thing. Like, if you're gonna do a dragon, it has to be intelligent. I do think Scraggy in later generations does get an ability that, like, overcoat or something like that, that makes it so it's not actually bothered by sandstorms, because it makes more sense that way. I've never used a Scraggy. Like, I tried to once, and then she died very fast. It was in my dark type run, I tried to use a Scraggy, and then I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? That thing's gonna die from, like, sandstorm damage. Yeah, I'm going. Good job though, Emmett. Let me go heal. Oh, before I forget, let me put the smoke ball on Maractus. Best item in the game is only because the one time you will not be able to escape from battle will be the one time you really need to escape from battle, and then it'll be annoying that you couldn't escape from the battle. But just, everything they have in Notland, I think, would have just been better themed if they had gone Midwest, like Old West style, because then they could have still had a limited range of technology that would have been in line with the sword technology that they have, like, in Fontaine, which is supposed to be, I think, the most advanced area in the region up until this point. They could have still had the whole dinosaur thing that they wanted to do. They could have still had, like, the whole Grand Canyon, the whole... I mean, what is more associated with the sun than the whole high noon trope of Old Westerns? You know, like, I just think that fits way better for, like, a fire region. Or, you know, volcanoes, but that might be a little too on the nose for this game. But whatever they were trying to do, theme it off of, it's not clear, and also the technology level of that region is really weird. Like, all of a sudden, you know, we have Fontaine where you're like, here, we're just figuring out how to use muskets. Like, mind you, not, like, full-on guns yet, muskets. And then you go to Notland, like, nope, never mind, we have full-on, like, DJ, sound systems, motorcycles, and not just regular guns, giant guns that you can fly on and ride on like a broomstick. And you're like, what is going on right now? How do all these things exist in the same world? Like, it's just, it's something that happens to a lot of gacha games, but you always hope it doesn't. This happened definitely to Fire Emblem Heroes. But there is, like, when you're adding in new regions for, like, a gacha game, there always comes a point when you're less like, okay, how do these things exist in the same world? Which, to be fair, is fine if you're a gacha game that does, like, you know, doesn't do it a one solid world. If you're doing an interconnected world, like worlds through portals, or through different points in time, or different worlds, then it doesn't matter as much as your world building is consistent. But you're doing an area that is only one solid area, and then you're going to be like, oh, this is one cohesive world with its own lore and world building and stuff like that. Then yeah, it is a bit distracting when you suddenly go and be like, okay, this other region has immense technology that eclipses anything the other regions have. And sure, you can go and say, well, it's powered by magic, so that's what makes it different. Like, no, it's the fact that the item exists at all. It doesn't matter how it's powered. We already know this is an elementally powered world. They're powered by the 7 elements, and each region uses their element differently to change their way of life. That's good world building, but I'm like, I don't care if you have fire. Like, the way they did that in Avatar: The Last Airbender was like, okay, the Fire Nation had the most advanced technology because, you know, firebending means that they had a quicker industrial revolution, you know? They, like, initially, it was just them developing airships, and then later on, like, they developed cars, they developed tanks, you know, things that make sense because, unsurprisingly, as the Fire Nation, they are best at metal works, you know? They figured out steam power first, you know? Not against the fire area being more advanced, but it's also like, how did we have this huge jump from our last region that was supposedly the most, like, advanced, and now all of a sudden this other area that's, like, almost a century's worth of, like, technological development, and we're supposed to say these things still exist in the same world, especially when we're talking about, like, the first 2 regions where we're still... You know, we still have bards walking around and singing stories and people camping outside and people using bows and lances and stuff like that, but we're supposed to expect that exists in the same reality where, like, people who ride motorcycles does. It's distracting at the very least. It's world-breaking at the very most. One of these days I'm going to come on here and not rant about what frustrates me about Genshin Impact, I swear, one of these days. The problem is that if my brain has nothing to focus on, that's usually where it goes. It usually starts off with oh, I have this interesting thought about Pokemon, and, oh, this reminds me now of Genshin Impact, and then it always immediately turns to, man, this thing about this game, it frustrates me. That's just what hyperfixation is, unfortunately. It means that your brain's like, nope, only this thing. Okay, let's go heal again. Try to get Emmett to level 30. And then we're gonna try and get Bunny, I think maybe level 22. Not very high, because I don't want to stay in this area for very long. I just want to get her strong enough that we could go fight Cheren's Duat, which, to be fair, I could do even with a type, like, team that's not, like, type strong. It's just a matter of, you know, like, I want to get him into level 30, and then I'll put the EXP share on Bunny, and put, you know, Emmett in the front instead. Let him, you know, try and get, like, a few levels if possible, because he's pretty much more effective. He's more or less effective against everything in this area, but I just want to get him to level 30 first. That'd be nice to get Bunny to like level 22, level 24 even, then press forward with the Nuzlocke. The funny thing is, even though I'm talking, you know, stuff about Genshin Impact, like, when I was on stream yesterday, I was enjoying playing it. It was more one of those, like, not, like, active enjoyments, it was more one of those, oh, I can turn my brain off for this sort of things, which is, I mean, I guess that's kind of how I enjoy open world games to begin with. It's, like, instead of being like, oh, exploration and storytelling, it's usually like, oh, I can go around and just do random stuff. I don't have to think about it. I'm just gonna go pick some berries. Which is, you know, fun of it. How did I keep running into so many Darumaka's? Can I run into a Sandile or something? Nice. Okay, let's go back and heal. Might as well train in the desert resort then. I can't keep running into Darumaka's. Okay, heal my people. Thank you. There we go. Like, I believe Cheren is one of the Pokemon that I think has Sandville. And something they did with Sandville in later generations is that it would make it so you had, you'll be resistant to Sandstorm. Which makes sense for, again, a Cheren. You know, because it lives in the you know, it's a cactus that lives in the desert. It's weird Maractus doesn't have that sort of thing, because again, it's something that lives in the desert, so you think it would be, like, like, adapted to its environment. Same thing with Darumaka's, which I keep running into. You would assume that they would have adapted to their environment so that they aren't constantly bothered by, like, sandstorm damage, but whatever. Sorry, I was moving my screen around. How do I keep running into so many Darumaka's? This is also the reason why people like hate things like Golbats. It's like, it's not because the Pokemon is bad necessarily. In fact, Golbat has an interesting design, I think. It's because of the fact you run into so many of them that you're just kind of getting sick of them. And that's entirely why people, like, you know, don't like Golbats and stuff like that. It's really why I'm not liking Darumaka right now, because I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I have to run into another one of you? How much more points do I need to get to level up again? It's gonna take so long. Let me try and do this. I'm gonna do something here. See how I'm gonna do this here. On paper, he should be fairly strong. Granted, he has a minus attack nature, which sucks, but hypothetically, he should be fairly strong. Nice. So hopefully that we can kill things a little faster. I don't have to switch my Pokemon in and out then. Not to mention, as a rock type, he won't be bothered by Sandstorm, so... Acrobatic should be hitting with a lot of power right now, because he's not holding an item. So how about we just grind until Emmett gets to level 30. However high or low Bunny is at in levels by then, we'll leave it at that. Sorry if my thing's like chugging here. Let me just see if I can close. So I can close out any windows so this thing isn't chugging so much. Oh, Dribble, I haven't seen one of those in a while. Thing's not updating again, so I'm trying to figure that out while I'm going between battles here. At least he lives for us a lot of XP. General strategy with Archeops is try and kill it before it kills you. Oh, another Sigilyph. Alright. Interesting. Those are supposed to have like a 10% find rate, but I found 2 in a row. That's just RNG for you, I guess. Yeah, what we got here? You don't really need Cotton Spore. Synthesis I'll hold on to because healing moves are always useful, but we don't need Cotton Spore. It might come in handy, but my team typically is very slow anyway, so Dad's gonna buy me anything. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Let's go over to the guy to just refresh on my acrobatics. It's weird, my Pokelink thing's not updating. What happened? Let's say real fast. Okay, give me a second. Okay, why are you chugging again? I'm trying to close windows so this thing doesn't do this, but Refresh my... Yeah, this thing is just chugging right now, and I don't really know why. I closed all my windows. Let me try closing my Discord. I do not know why it's chugging right now like this. I didn't open up anything new. Man, this thing's moving so slow. Maybe if I just leave the sandstorm area, maybe it'll go, won't be so slow. This thing is chugging right now. What else is running in the background? See if I can close any more windows out. I'm trying to close some windows so my thing isn't running. What is running so slow? This thing's just chugging like nobody's big. Give me a second. See my task manager and see what it is that's running my thing so slow. Just give me a second. Let me try. It says Pokelinks was slowing it down, so give me a second. Let me try closing that. And opening this back up. And now my whole thing froze. Love that. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna try and quit the whole process and see if that helps. Come on. Okay, now it's just straight up crashed. Love that. Why does my computer do this? I don't get how other people like stream and do like stuff on like this all the time. My things always seem to have this issue. I literally have closed everything I can close. Okay, let's try this again. See, I'll run a little faster this time. Okay, whatever was scumming it down, I guess, fixed itself. Wait, let me... Let me try and get Bunny to level 24. We'll go fight Cheren. I do like Dweeble. I raised one, a female one, in my white Nuzlocke, and she did pretty well for me. They're pretty sturdy Pokemon. They're definitely pretty good in these sorts of runs because their typings, you know, can pretty helpful. They got good defenses. Level 23, geared to level 24, and we'll go fight Cheren. Who I will be prepared for this time. Another Sigilyph. Should give us a good jump because those offer a good amount of EXP. Alright. Just have to kill a few more of the desert population. We should be ready to move forward. Grinding is obviously the least fun part. I was talking about this yesterday when I was playing Star Rail and Genshin for my dailies. Grinding is a necessary part of RPGs. But it is always the least fun part of the RPGs. Because it is pretty mindless. Unless you have an auto battle feature, which speeds it up, but unfortunately I don't think my computer could handle me speeding this up, because I could be fast forwarding right now. Like, you know, most emulators have like a fast forward function. I think that would just cause my computer to combust, because it can barely handle running this at normal speed. Dweeble. It's also weird there aren't a ton of crab Pokemon either. There's Dweeble, there's Crustle, there's Kingler. I guess it's cool that Dweeble's like not water type. A lot of them tend to be water types, which I guess, yeah, that makes sense. It's what you would associate with crabs. Those are my dogs, they wouldn't hear those in the background. Clearly someone has come to the door, because that's usually when they make noise.
I'm coming.
My guess is that we have female company coming over, my brothers. If I had to guess. Our one old dog is the worst because he, we're guessing he just has, like, you know, bad eyesight at this point because, like, he just barks so much. He didn't used to do this as much. We had one dog. But ever since we got, like, the 3, like, puppies, he now is just insistently barks, howls, whatever. And he won't stop until you, like, stare him down. Like, the other puppies will stop and they'll be like, okay, we did the necessary barking to alert our humans that we are being invaded. Harry won't stop, is the problem with him. Now he's the one, if you can hear anything in the background, he's the one you'll be able to hear from here. It's very annoying. Maybe just because it isn't just like barking or stuff like that, like, he like howl barks. You're just like, why are you making so much noise? You can like stare him in the face, and he'll continue to make that much noise. I'm like, why are you doing this as I'm staring at you? Like, long after we've determined, like, okay, there's someone in the house, we introduce them to the dogs stop barking once they realize who's there. And then they just want to, like, get all up in their business. But then Perry will just continue to howl and bark, and I'm just like, why do you do this? You're supposed to be the emotional support animal, not the animal with emotional support needs. Okay, Maractus has to be leveling up anytime now. She has to be so close. Do you like the little shading on, like, Archon's wings, that even when it's, like, moving its wings, like in the animated way, it looks like it has a little bit of depth on its wing feathers. Yeah, and I love some good sprite art. Alright, she's level 24. That means we're heading out. We're gonna go face Cheren. I think we can handle it now, because we have something to deal with his Duat. Everything else I'm going to brute force the heck out of with my other Pokemon. Sorry if you can still hear my dogs in the background. It's, no power over that. Not even if I was down there, they are just kind of annoying like that. Alright, let's go face my rival. There they go again. Like, Perry used to not do this. I don't know why as soon as we got other dogs, he decided he needed to do this all the time. I don't know. Sometimes you just want to get a dog psychologist and be like, why does my dog do this? It's very annoying. I'm also trying to not go too terribly much longer because I'm trying not to eat at an unreasonable hour. Last few nights I've been eating at like 8 o'clock at night. I'm trying not to eat at an unreasonable hour like I keep doing. So I'm gonna heal just to be certain. And then go save. Go fight Cheren. All these other buildings in Nimbus that I visit, but I honestly don't remember what any of them are, so I'm not going to visit them right now. Alright, round 2. Let's do this. I should be significantly stronger than my rival at this point. See, this is what happened last time. I didn't even get to, I didn't even get to the grass when I tried to face him the first time. He, like, literally jumped me as I'm walking out the gate. He's got 4 Pokemon. I got... I'm gonna guess he's gonna use Fake Out, so I'm gonna switch over to Hamilton. Yeah. Fake Out doesn't do a whole lot if you're switching in. Okay, I actually got 3 hits this time. That's nice. I'm gonna switch over to Bunny. Deal with his Duat. She's a little underleveled, but hopefully that won't be a problem. Okay, not bad. There's the stupid berry. Let's go again. Nice. Good hit. One more time. Glad he didn't use that the first turn. I would have hurt more. Nice. Fancy, we're gonna put in Emmett. Trying to acrobatics the heck out of him. We're gonna stay in, actually. I think Emmett will be fine here. Nice. Acrobatics is pretty strong. Cool. And I feel much better now sweeping him. I just need to way past that Duat. That's the only thing, is I'm like, I knew Emmett and Hamilton alone could beat the rest of his team, but there's that Duat. Why can't I beat you? Well, you did the first time. Hey, Lisa. Oh, that's right, she was going to lower the drawbridge for me. Here's Alder. You're quite a judgmental young person, are you not? I do like that Alder's at least somewhat fine in this one. In the anime, he was, again, a total goof. Alder reminds me a lot of Genuine in Honkai Star Rail, where he's like, he's supposed to be strong, but he's usually just lazing about most of the time. Although Genuine in Star Rail is actually legitimately strong. Yeah, It's gonna do a double Intimidate, and then we're gonna switch out for Hamilton. We don't want that attack drop. And Hamilton has a fighting move anyway. Double Herdier, though, is no joke. Of course, you faked out the one that actually had, like, the damaging move. Alright, let's see what we can do about this. Liepard is a cool looking Pokemon, especially this whole like Grim Reaper tail it has going on, but it's unfortunately not a great dark type. Though to be fair, a lot of dark types aren't very strong. They're either like fast, quick attackers, or they're like, you know, status condition people. Kind of like the issue with poison type Pokemon. Thank you for hitting his Pokemon instead of mine. He has things to lose, I don't. Thanks for the berry. I did become very fond. I originally didn't care for Lillipup in his evolution lines, but I became very fond of Herdier and Stoutland when I had to like rely on one very extensively for my white playthrough. So I'm more fond of it now. Even if I have, again, lost a few Pokemon to that evolution line, I also am pretty fond of it because it was kind of a clutch thing Pokemon for me. Also, we're fighting like 4-year-olds. Is like the kids' sprites are so tiny. We're like fighting like 4-year-olds. Yeah, sure, and you're not my favorite person right now just because you keep killing my Pokemon. Oh. Thanks for fighting me. That reminds me of the way I should go, catch Pokemon in the grass. I really don't need any other flying type move besides Acrobatics, because Acrobatics is so strong. Good for you, bunny. Next, Giga Drain. First off, let me save, and then let me go catch another Pokemon. So encounter I have for the tall grass here. I wanted to see if she would give me items. Whatever. That's fine. I'll beat your Pokemon first. We're just gonna try and acrobatics through all 3 of these guys. Okay, let me go into your camper then, I guess. I could have sworn there's someone who gives me an item here. What I could possibly have in here that's a gourmet item. Anyway, let's see about catching a Pokemon here. Oh, Gothita. Well, I can certainly catch that. But I will switch into a different Pokemon because I fear Emmett will kill you. Let's switch to something that... What should we do? Should we try and get a third Psychic type? Hope this one actually survives. Honestly, I've never raised a Gothitelle either, so... I'm down for it. We're little Alita girls. Let's try Needle Arm, because that shouldn't do a lot of damage. Wow. That did way more than I thought it was. I'm glad I didn't use Mega Drain. Okay. I'm gonna put you in a Premier Ball. I think I will name you, Celestia. After the Lolita girl, person they have in Danganronpa 1. Pretty sure that's what her name was. Celestia Lunenburg, I believe. I just want to get that Pokeball over there. But hey, I'll take a Psychic type. Honestly, I'll take anything that isn't from the desert, because I'm just so sick of looking at those desert Pokemon at this point, because I've been grinding out there for so long. Really sick and tired of looking at all those desert Pokemon. Right, good deal. What level is Bunny right now, actually? Okay, we'll let her get one more level, and then we'll put the EXP share on Celestia. I don't know what level Gothita evolves, so... Oh, a Liepard. Well, I'm glad I found a Gothita then. I definitely did not want to get a Liepard. Not really that useful for Pokemon. They're fast and really not much else. Fast, they have some good, like, techie moves, like Fake Out and Torment, but definitely not the sort of thing I need for my team. I'd much rather have a Psychic type. Admittedly, I don't... Oh, I would have taken a Mincino, though. Gothita is a good one because I've never raised one before, so it's good to have something new. But if I had run into a Mincino, I would have taken a Mincino, too. That's also something I've not raised before. That's the really thing and reason I do Nuzlocke runs, is to, like, use Pokemon I've never used before. Get a bit of, you know, expand my Pokemon knowledge. I can't remember what that different colored grass is supposed to be. Is that the one where I sometimes might run into, like, 2 Pokemon? I think so. Palpitoad. I actually don't mind Palpitoad. I kind of like how, you know, like, it sits there and then, like, you know, watches, like, idle. See how it, like, shakes its head like that? I actually think it's really adorable in its little nub hands. It's definitely one of those ones that when it went to the 3D sprite and lost a lot of its characteristic, like, you know, personality. I didn't like Palpitoad as much. But I raised the Palpitoad. I didn't like once it turned into Seismitoad because it looked way less cool to me, but I'm like, I thought Palpitoad was cute. Don't ask me why, but I thought Palpitoad was cute. Okay, let's just see if there's any other items back here. And there is. Nice. I don't know what zinc does. Special defense. I don't have anyone who needs special defense right now. Alright. Oh, 2 Pokemon. Yep. Dark green is where you can find 2 Pokemon. That makes sense. Trubbish, that's interesting. I haven't seen a Trubbish before. I guess let's take care of the let you take care of the Trubbish. I wouldn't mind raising a Trubbish either, because, I do think Trubbish on its own at least looks cute. Garbodor definitely depends. I think if I was ever going to raise a Garbodor, it would definitely be in this game. Because, again, the sprites are cutest in this game. Nice getting a multiple hit on that. So I think if there was anywhere I was going to potentially raise a Trubbish, it would be in this game when it looks cutest based on the sprite art. But like other games, Garbodor just... the 3D sprite doesn't look great. It doesn't look as big as it should be. And, you know, like... because the dynamic scaling was something that for some reason they stopped doing after Pokemon XD and Pokemon Colosseum. You know, like... X and Y, when they like converted it all over to the 3D sprites, for some reason they did not do dynamic scaling anymore. Some Pokemon that should look huge looked really tiny. It was very distracting. To be looking at Pokemon and be like, this thing should be huge. And then you're like, no, actually it isn't. Oh wait, Bunny leveled up, didn't she? I said I was going to switch over the item to the XP share to Celestia after Bunny leveled up. Yeah, she's level 27. Okay, let's move this over to Celestia. She can be level 20. Now we got 2 girls and 2 boys. Jolly. Okay. And we're back to having the bad natures. Especially, Jolly's not bad. Like, I don't mind having a speed booster, but the one thing she needs is special attack, and I got my special attack nature. Oh my gosh. I guess Bunny's going to be the only one who has a good nature this entire, like, run, because everyone else I'm running into is like, what if you had a nature that takes away the one stat you actually need? Anyway, let me go heal, deal with the rest of these trainers. Then I'm gonna save and end for the night. So I can go and find some food for dinner. But I want to at the very least clear this area of trainers so I can move on after this. Alright, let's head out. Oh, Whirlipede. I do like Venipede, Scolipede, and Whirlipede a lot. I wish I had found a Venipede in the forest because I really do like them as Pokemon. And they also have really cool calls. And of course I got poisoned. I'm like, I bet you I'm gonna get hit by Poison Point. I'm telling you, see, whenever the opponent has a status condition ability, it'll always hit me first. I might as well leave you in because at least you can't get poisoned a second time. If I have Poison Point, it'll never activate, but if the opponent has Poison Point, you better believe it's gonna work every single time. At least Celestia leveled up. I could run back to Pokemon Center, but I don't feel like doing that right now, so I'm just gonna use a Paralyze heal. I mean, a Poison heal. And always buy another one later. Alright, let's fight the rest of the people here. Gotta fight every trainer, because, you know, this is... You don't make use of the trainer battles, then that's when you have to grind so much that you become sick of looking at Darumaka's and Sandiles. I am going to switch you out for this, though, because I don't want you to actually get hit by an electric move. Even if you probably could kill it with an acrobatics, I don't want to run that risk. Just switch in Bunny, because at least she resists electric moves. Good job. Oh, let's keep you in. Second verse, same as the first. You know, I know I reference, like, I noticed the other day I reference a lot of, like, really old songs because there are a lot of things my dad, like, played growing up. Which means that, like, if I'm, like, referencing a song, it's usually the crowd that, like, realizes what I'm referencing is usually, like, the 40 to 60-year-olds. Oh. And this guy just gave me electric guitar. Alright. Nice, I guess. Okay, none of the rest of you want to fight. Okay. Now we just gotta open the bridge. I love me some good 3D DS graphics. This was revolutionary for the time, you know. Thank you, Lisa. I got a TV kid, so I gotta go. Now we gotta face Clay in the next town, who's a ground type person. Cheren's clearly dealing with some insecurity problems, but that's fine. We won't begrudge him that. I don't see any feathers. But I don't know if they're supposed to be like shiny spots or something. Clay's a big businessman. Looks like a cowboy, but he's just... Oh. Is that a feather right there? Nice. The feathers are good because they're essentially like, the, like, vitamins that, like, raise base stats. So. I want to get any of them if I can, because I could use those. Don't know who Charles is. think I know what the cold storage is. We'll run back and forth from there later to see if we can get like a... Just like that one in Driftveil Sea. I think it's funny it's called the Charizard Bridge. Anyway, so we're going to save here, and we're going to call it for here. I think we've made some significant progress here. Yeah, I'd rather end it on a high note. We beat Cheren. Trained up a Maractus, got a Gothita. I think it's pretty good for now, so yeah, I think that was pretty doable. We'll see if I can play this again later on this week, but that's I do love Driftveil City's themes, though. It has a catchy theme. Anyways, that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to go downstairs and get some food, because I'm getting hungry. Maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll see you guys on, what's after? Thursday, Friday. Maybe I'll see you guys on Friday. But yeah, I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna go down and see if I can go scratch for food, but I might be here tomorrow, might be here Friday, probably gonna be a crochet stream unless I have a game that I particularly want to do, so. Thanks for those who are watching, thanks for those that are lurking, I appreciate all you guys, and, thanks for joining me as I continue on with my Nuzlocke journey here. And I'll